Well, here we are again. Got ourselves another Ameritron AL-500. Pardon me, ALS-500M. And another ALS-500M. We're going to modify both of these in the same way we modified the last one. And what I mean by that is we're going to upgrade the power wire plug in the back. We're going to increase our ground connectors. This is just idiotic to me that we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 10 pins on the back of this plug, and we're only going to utilize 2 of them to carry all the current for this thing. So we'll probably tie these bottom 4 together, these top 4 together. On the other one I tied 3 or 5 and 5. We're just going to do 4 and 4. Help get a little bit more current into them. We're going to put some ferrites for choking on both of the inputs, get those set up, and then we're going to run them through their, well, we're going to do these as individual units. Okay, so we're going to call this the ALS-500M1. Okay, this one we're going to not ask quite as much for it because this one isn't completely pristine. This front faceplate here has got a little bit of wobbles to it, but this comes with this remote. This is a radio-driven automatic band selector, specifically made for this unit. Okay, so you can plug this into the front. You plug this box into your radio, and when you switch bands, it automatically communicates with this box and tells this what to do. I'm not going to demonstrate this working, but to kind of sweeten the deal out, I'm hoping that this remote, which is for remote head for 500M for serial number 13049 and above. Well, this is 13246 is the serial number on the back of this one. So in theory, it's the same thing I said on the last video. We're going to throw this in. In theory, this remote should work on this unit. Now this is a lower serialized numbered version. This is 13120. But we got a remote for this one that's like this one here. It's got the meter in it, got the remote knob and all that fun stuff. So this one goes with this. This goes with this unit. So this isn't all that spendy. There's really not a whole lot in here. You hear that clanking noise? What that is there's a ferrite bead that's in here on a piece of wire floating around. And to me that just screams at me, break wire soon. So before this leaves here, I'll pop this tin off. We'll put a little bit of hot glue on that bead and stick it to the board. That way that doesn't end up breaking a wire in the future. But the moral of the story is these are the older versions of the all-band boxes, and it's got 4 Toshibas, the good transistors in it. Good. So we're going to run it through its paces, make sure it works on all modes, all bands. But first, let's set all this stuff aside. First things first, let's modify that power plug. So I cut that wire off not to be a jovial prick or to be flamboyant or anything. It's because literally it is too small a wire to feed this 120 amp monster. Okay, it's just too small. This is an average reading meter here. Okay, my clip over amp ring is an average reading meter. It's not a peak reading meter. This meter here on the workbench is an average reading meter. Peak is like double. It can, in certain operations, for a nanosecond, peak way up in current. So when I see butt splices and way too small a wire being used, like these 4 pins are now all tied together as hot. And because of our remote wire, which I'm not going to move, that way anybody that picks up a manual, they can go, oh, okay, this wire's busted off, we're going to go here. And they know that they can solder to this, and it's going to be the remote. Nothing's changing. I'm adding these 4 plugs for ground, these 4 plugs for hot, and that one staying is your remote. The idea that I'm trying to convey to everybody is, I don't understand why you'll spend, like in this situation, $1,500, $1,600 for one of these amplifiers, new for one of these things. And then you'll spend all this money on your radio, like $2,000 or $3,000 on your radio. But then when it comes down to running the power wire to the flipping battery in your car, you will use the cheapest wire that Home Depot can sell you, or Lowe's. It makes 0 cents to me. 0 cents. And then you will use the cheapest butt splices that money can buy to put the wires together. That's the difference between, like, that'd be like buying a Lamborghini or a Ferrari and then going to Walmart to put tires on the car. My brain doesn't understand that logic. And nobody's ever going to be able to explain it to me other than just simply use the, well, that's the way radio operators are. I never understood it when I was hanging around radio operators when I was a kid. I was like, man, I was like 12, 13 years old. And I'm like, they'd have this radio that cost, like at that time, $1,000 would be like $4,000 today. And they'd have it hooked up to the cheapest, shittiest coax that they could buy. Literally the cheapest coax per foot that they could buy. And I never understood it. I've never understood that logic. The idea that I'm trying to promote is that this takes at least a piece of 4 gauge coming off your battery, not 2 pieces of 12. You lose so much DC current. You lose so much energy when you're running DC that you have to overkill it all the way up to the amplifier. And then if Ameritron in their, MFJ, in their infinitesimal children of thought, decides that this is adequate enough to not cause any power loss or cause extra strain on the transistor, that's on them. But why can't we take a minute and at least make the plug so it kicks ass? And our power wires that we hook to our battery in our vehicle are at least adequate enough to carry 150 amp peak, 100 amp average to the device that's drinking the current. I put a 150 amp Anderson clip on this. Soldered, compression fit, ended. There's a reason, because I pray the person that buys this piece of equipment, because I'm going to do both of these the same way, I pray that they have enough mental fortitude to understand that 2 pieces of 8 equals 4, and that they should run at least 4 gauge so that they can help keep the voltage up help save the life of the transistors. It is what it is. Now in 6 months or a year, I might get this back and the Anderson clip's cut off and there's butt splices attached to this hooked up to 12 gauge. Hey, that's not on me. I just tried to promote the right way of thinking. You know what I mean? Everything is soldered, everything is mechanically tied inside this plug, and then on top of that is marine grade heat shrink for a reason. This is your biggest point of failure that you're going to have, because this is a connection that you cannot see and that you're always going to assume is good. Just saying. Just saying. Well, here we are. So, got the power plug all put together. 150 amp Anderson clip. 2 pieces of 8 gauge feeding it. Got that hooked up to 4-aught, or 1-aught, which is overkill. I mean, you only need like 4 gauge. But over here in the box, we went ahead and got this all modified. We've got ourselves 5 pieces of ferrite on both of the positive leads. We've tied together the bottom 4, just like the power plug, and the top 4 for the positive side. So we've got more plug carrying more current. And yeah. The other thing is this does not have the 10 meter board in it. For $59, you can go to MFJ Enterprises, Ameritron Enterprises, and you can order the board. And you unscrew, there's 4 screws, 2 here, and then there's another 2 posts that you can't see out of frame here. Undo these 4 screws, put the board down on these posts, screw the post in place, and then the auxiliary position for 10 meters will work. 11, 10, whatever. So let's go over here. That is a 1,000 watt slug in peak, 1,000 in average, and a 5 watt slug in reverse, back from the Bird 10,000 watt dummy load. So let's first start out on, we'll go all the way down. We're going to go to, it does 1.5 through 2.3 megahertz. So let's go over here, do 160. So, hello, 700 watts. Hello, audio 1, 2. And that's with this much drive. Hello, 1, 2. About 60, 70 watts of drive. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 700 watts. Okay, so I'll flip it up one position here. And then we'll go to 80 meters. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's our drive. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're getting the full output. And then we'll go ahead and we'll jump on up to hello, 1, 2. Let's see, 40. That's 40 watt. Hello, 40 meters. Hello, audio, 600 on 40. We'll go to 20. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Here, let's try this. Hello, 1, 2. Nope. I like this position better. Hello, 1, 2. 500 watts, just like it's supposed to do. And we'll jump on up here to, oh, what is it? Shoot, about 21 megahertz. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. No problem. Working just as advertised. Let's go ahead and back the camera up a little bit. Now this is the one that comes with the electronic radio interface. I want to try this remote. I'm kind of interested. When I bought this, I thought, well, this will just work right great for this one amplifier. Well, it didn't work. It was for a different serial number, I guess. We're going to take A and plug it into A. Oh, look, it lit up. I sworn it did on the other one. Turn this off. We're going to turn this over to remote. Cool. We're going to take and plug this into B mode. Plug this into B. All right, so let's start over. Now we're all the way down at 1.867 megahertz, so 160. Hello, 1, 2. Oh man, I didn't even have the RF power up all the way. Son of a gun. Okay, power on. Hello, audio. Wow, look at that go. Hello. Doing almost 800 watts, 750 watts. We'll click this up. Go to 80 meters. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Hello, 1, 2. Beautiful. Up to 20. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This pulls 103 amps, you guys. I know it's a little bit cluttered and I got stuff all in front of the meter, but if you look, you'll see. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. About 105 amps. Okay. Click it on up. Yep. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Beautiful. Yay. Remote works. So, needless to say, power off, power off. Let's unplug this guy, unplug this guy, unplug this guy, and unplug this guy. Well, sweet. I know that I'm into this for like 80 or 90 bucks. This is like 50 or 60 bucks. Let's see. Put this away. As I'm sitting here putting stuff away, I'm thinking about what I got to charge for this. Because I know what we're into it for. The lid for this amp, let's get to full disclosure mode. You can go buy this today for like $1,200 to $1,300 for just the amp from MFJ without any modifications, but it's got the Chinese transistors in it, the knockoff DEIs. Okay, $1,200, $1,300. This has got the real deal heavy duty ball smashing Toshibas in it. So plus the remote kit, plus the digital radio remote kit. Which this is really slick. I didn't even know that this thing existed until this showed up with this amp. And I was like, oh, I gotta go read about it. Anderson clip power wire upgrade. It's got three little blemishes. This corner, let's get in here and look at it. This corner, this little dot, and this little dot. Otherwise, everything on this is completely mint. The lid on it is in great condition. It's got no wear marks, no nothing. This is just finger smudges. There's a little tiny scratch on the lid, but I mean, it's not anything anybody's going to get really excited about. And then it comes with its original owner's manual, which is basically a printout. I see this price has gone up. They've got it listed here for $1,200, so that price has gone up, and that's before the about $200 worth of add-ons. It's not new. I understand that, and this is used, but it's got the really good pills in it. So I'll say $16.50 plus the ride. We'll say 16 plus the ride. You guys know how this works. You know the number you got to call. First one to call me, text me, shout at me, whatever, say something to me like, hey, and it's yours. I don't care where it goes. It just can't stay here. Okay. Now I'm going to go do its twin. I'm going to do its twin. So gentlemen, the first one to call me, text me, or hit me up, this is you. Gentlemen, my name is BBI. Big thanks to all of you guys. Super big thanks to my Patreons. Big thanks to MacMan, Siglent, Excess Power, Bird, Coaxial Dynamics, and especially all of you guys on YouTube. Yay! Let's do amplifier number 2. All right, I'll see you. Bye.